From the very beginning of my life, I have known what it means to walk in darkness. I'm not only speaking of the absence of electricity or the blackout of a night without stars. I'm speaking of the darkness of fear, of sin, of confusion, of those silent hours when the soul aches for light. And yet, in all my years, I have also come to discover something greater, that Jesus Christ is not just a teacher, not just a prophet, not just a moral guide. He is the light itself, and there is no darkness in this world or in me that can ever extinguish him. When I open the scriptures, I see this truth echoing again and again like a bell that cannot stop ringing. In Genesis, the very first words spoken by God were, "Let there be light." And there was light. Before the creation of the sun, the moon, or the stars, God declared his light. And I see in that not just a physical illumination, but a spiritual reality, that from the very beginning, God's desire was to pierce through darkness with his presence. That's why John's Gospel declares with such power, "In him was life, and the life was the light of men." The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. I have lived long enough to test this verse in my own life. Darkness has tried. Oh yes, it has tried. Temptation has tried. Fear has tried. Regret has tried. I have been through nights where hope seemed like a faint candle struggling against the wind. I have faced guilt so heavy that I wondered if light could ever break through again. And yet, without fail, the light of Christ has always found me. It has always risen, like the dawn after the longest night. The world tries to offer its own version of light: money, power, pleasure, success. I have seen them all, and I confess, I have chased some of them. But every counterfeit light fades, every false glow eventually burns out, leaving the soul emptier than before. Only Jesus remains. He is the lamp to my feet and the light to my path. Psalm 119, verse 105. Without him, I stumble. With him, I walk steady even through the valley of the shadow of death. What amazes me is that this light does not only shine above me or around me, it shines in me. Jesus himself declared, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." And then, almost shockingly, he turned to his disciples and said, "You are the light of the world." That means the same Jesus who illuminates heaven and earth places his flame in my own heart. He calls me to reflect him, to shine before others, to live in such a way that people see his light through me. I sometimes ask myself, what business do I, so frail, so flawed, have being called a light? And yet, that is the miracle of grace. A candle by itself cannot push back the night. But when the eternal flame of Christ touches it, it glows with his brilliance. I have also learned that this light is not gentle only. It is fierce. It does not negotiate with darkness. Where light enters, darkness flees instantly. You never switch on a lamp and see darkness slowly negotiating its way out. It disappears. That's the authority of Jesus in the spiritual realm. Demons tremble at his light, lies are exposed, sin is uncovered. That is why so many people resist him, not because his light fails, but because it succeeds too well. It reveals what is hidden. It shows us ourselves. And I know personally how painful that exposure can be. Yet it is also healing, because what is revealed can finally be redeemed. There were moments when I thought my failures had written the last chapter of my story. But every time I brought my brokenness into his light, he rewrote the script. The shame that once felt unbearable became a testimony. The wounds that once bled in secret became scars of victory. Truly, darkness cannot overcome him. Not the darkness of my past, not the darkness of my doubts, not the darkness of this broken world. And so, I walk now with a confidence I never had before. Not confidence in myself, but in the light that holds me. Jesus said in John 12:46, "I have come into the world as light, so that whoever believes in me may not remain in darkness. Those words are not a theory to me. They are my lived reality. I have tasted that light. I have walked in it. I have seen it guide me when nothing else made sense. And the older I grow, the more I realize this. The world will continue to spin in chaos, nations will rise and fall, darkness will try to thicken. But the light of Christ is not negotiable. It cannot be switched off. It is eternal. One day, Revelation tells us, in the New Jerusalem there will be no need for the sun or the moon, for the Lamb himself will be its light. That is the destiny I cling to. That is the hope that keeps me moving, even when shadows try to creep back in. So I stand here today, not as someone who has never known darkness, but as someone who has been rescued by the light. My message is simple, but it burns in me like fire. Cling to Jesus, the light. Do not let the world's glitter fool you. Do not let your past's shadows trap you. No darkness in you, around you, or against you can overcome him. And as long as his flame burns within your heart, you too will shine, and the darkness will never have the final word. Because light wins. Always.